Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Skymetal Iron Gods, Chapter 1, Fires of Creation, Part 17. And, if you take a look below me, and you see even though M is not here, Veris is in a state. We left off on quite a interesting, situation last session, but I will let Vi tell us all about that and bring us up to speed here in a moment. First, a couple of super quick announcements. One, if you take a look up above my head, those are our domain relics. They are the domain tomes that we use for this game. Domain tomes are, of course, a way, domain dice are, of course, a way that you can have an impact on the game. For a $5 tip subscription, gift subscription, renewing your subscription, 500 bits, any of that stuff will earn us domain relics that we can use for, we can spend one relic to re-roll, and take the new result. We can spend 3 relics to, one to roll with advantage, 3 to re-roll, or 5 if we really want Vi to re-roll, I don't know, a crit perhaps. But we can only do that with the help of those who support in those ways, such as Myth and Gear's incredible 63-month subscription. Been here almost since the beginning. That got us another domain relic. But yeah, that's where those will appear, right up there above my head. If you're interested in showing your support, or that you are a fan of MTD and our various stuff, you can check out our merch. We've got a whole bunch of t-shirts. There's a whole series of D&D class t-shirts. There's some t-shirts for a couple of the different shows. Just some general MTD swag. As well as one of my favorites is the You Matter shirt. You can check all those out at teespring.com /stores/mini terrain domain. So check that out. Also, you can check out our other streams that are happening right now in our schedule. We have every other Tuesday, Skymetal, which you're watching right now. Thursday nights is our Welcome to Paradise, Michigan Season 2, Welcome to Paradise Academy. Just to give you an idea of how weird that one is, normally it takes place in 1985 in the fictional town of Paradise, Michigan, with a bunch of kids and teenagers trying to figure out what's going on in this weird little town. They are, or were just recently on a beach during a storm in 1885 after escaping the sinking Edmund Fitzgerald on Lake Superior in November of 1975. So they're all over the place, and it's a blast. So be sure to check that out. And of course, on Monday nights, you can check out Scribes and Scrolls, our Pathfinder 2e campaign, which is rapidly coming to a close. We just last week had our 100th regular episode. And we are less than 5 sessions away from that campaign reaching its conclusion. But, and I have only teased this, and I'm going to tease it again, we have already in the works a new Pathfinder 2e campaign that will be in that time slot on Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. That will be... This is actually the first time that I'm actually saying what it is, actually. I haven't given it its full official title yet, but we will be running... there it is. 7 Dooms for Sandpoint, the 200th adventure path from Pathfinder. And what's more, we will be joined by both Vi and Kaeryn in that campaign, along with channel regular Carrie, and Tamiko, both of whom you might recognize from either Scribes and Scrolls or the Kids on Bikes game, and our friend who, I don't know if he's still in the chat, he was there just a few moments ago, Jay, aka Neophet. So looking forward to that. Stay tuned for announcements when that campaign is going to go live. Last couple announcements, of course. We like to give you a little heads up about what you might expect watching these games. We are adults portraying fictitious characters in fantastic settings. You may hear graphic depictions of violence, intense dramatic roleplay, or sensitive topics, including but not limited to divorce, bullying, alcohol and substance use and abuse, and more. If this is something that does not appeal to you, we encourage you to take care of yourself and leave the stream. Nobody will think any less of you if you do so. But please understand that we take care of ourselves at the table. All players have participated in a session 0 where specific lines and veils have been established. Additionally, we have safety tools in place to ensure that all players are kept safe and have fun. We use the traffic light system, and we encourage you to use session 0's lines and veils and other safety tools at your own tables. If you want more information about safety tools, or you want to see the traffic light system that we use, the RPG consent checklist, or any other options, and just information about how to run these, you can check out bit.ly/TTRPG Safety Toolkit. Encourage you to check that out and employ those in your games if you do not already do so. Finally, would like to remind you, as we do before every game, that you matter. Your presence on this earth makes a difference. Whether you believe it or not, it is true. There are any number of reasons why you may be struggling, or you might need somebody to talk to, or maybe you know a friend that's looking to talk to somebody, and maybe you don't know where to go. Maybe you don't know how to get started. All you have to do is type !help in the chat, and a couple of URLs will show up. If you're watching with us on the VOD, those URLs are findahelpline.com, or you can check out the growing list of resources at takethis.org. We encourage you to check out those websites, bookmark them, save them for yourself, and remember, you matter. With that, I am going to turn things over to our incredible Dungeon Master, Vi. Vi, take it away.
Yrsimagor, you look down at your hands. They are bloody. You look down at the corpse of the rope fist here in the elevator shaft. Bloodied, beaten to a pulp. You recall the violence that happened just moments ago. Up a layer, up this elevator. You remember those thylacines, those guard animals. You remember just the gang of mercenaries stowed up in the various chambers, slashing at you with clubs, glittering. You remember Daeralei, everyone having a difficult time. You had to retreat. And here is where you've retreated. You've down a floor down once more to the sterile emptiness that is this deck. Rope fist, bludgeon on the floor. Daeralei next to you, both of you breathing heavy. Veris, unconscious, dying. He cracked his skull on something when he was kicked away by the rope fist that now lies dead at your feet. What do you do?
I think for a moment, the adrenaline of the the fight and getting to the elevator and dealing with this rope fist on the elevator, just as a punctuation to the end of that fight, I finish off, or rather, make sure that the rope fist is dead, with surgical precision, I guess. If not surgical, definitely. There's no way he's surviving that if he was pretending. Um, Coming up from that, I imagine sort of standing up and that my hair matted with sweat and blood, just sort of flipping back and looking around to make sure everybody's okay, spotting Daeralei, looking probably about as worse for wear as I myself am, and then looking over to check on Veris. Veris, are you all right? And then seeing Veris's body on the ground. No! And immediately running over and dropping down. And trying my best. I'm no medic. I'm no doctor. Damn it, Jim, I'm not a doctor. But I am going to desperately do my best to try to assess what wounds Veris might have and see if I can stop any bleeding or anything like that.
I think as Yrsimagor is doing this, Daeralei is very much just kind of pragmatic. We're hurt, we're bad. This is just bad news all around. And as Yrsimagor goes down to like check on Veris, Daeralei, with basically no inflection, no tone, no nothing, just hands you a flask, like a vial, and says, "Give him this." Basically passing you a healing potion. And then they turn and they start pulling the body of the rope fist off the elevated platform before rummaging through all of its pockets. And then once I've done that, I will continue on down the hallway, dragging this body.
I think when you hand Yrsimagor the flask, you see a Yrsimagor is a full-blooded orc. He is huge. Veris is a tiny little rat folk, and you just see probably the most delicate handling you've ever seen. As I think we're all familiar with, if you've seen a rat or a mouse when they're lying back, let's just say sleeping, the way their little mouth sort of lies open, hands sort of tucked up, and I think that's where you see that Yrsimagor is just very carefully holding Veris's mouth open and trying not to miss a drop, pouring this healing potion into his mouth.
Veris regains his consciousness as the healing potion takes its magical effect on him. You can go ahead and roll that 2d4, please. Tell me what you get. 2d4 plus 2.
7 total.
He stammers awake, dazed, in pain, but alive, no longer dying. He looks up at you, thankful that you saved him. I think he'd probably just stay nuzzling in your arms, I think.
I think
for
a few minutes, for the next several minutes, I will literally just sit cross-legged on the floor, sort of cradling Veris's head, and both of us looking a sorry state, but just making sure that he's okay.
So, Daeralei, you said that you were rummaging through the rope fist's body, seeing what kind of belongings this rope fist would have, right?
Yes, I'm looking for something valuable before I ditch the bodies.
Roll me a d6, please.
Ooh, sight. 6. 3.
You find a small little pouch. In it is a jumble of coins that amounts to 3 gold pieces. And inside this little pouch of coins, there's a folded up note. It is a bit tattered, but you can unfold it and see what it says.
I will, but not at this moment, because at this moment I'll tuck it into my pouch itself at this moment. I will come back to it, but I am concentrating on dragging this body away from where we're, the thing that we're going to keep using, and I'm going towards that. I can't remember what it was called, but that thing in the jar up
Thing in the jar. Okay.
that I know was cleaning up its area so nicely. And I'm going to get rid of this body there. That is my plan.
So you move up here,
Yeah.
dragging the body along with you. You slide open the doors, and you see the creature. It screams at you excitedly in your mind. You're back! You're back! Oh, I thought you were never coming back.
I brought you supper.
Red? The red food?
Filled
What
with
is
it.
what is that?
It's a
That's...
sack filled with red stuff. I'm sure.
Oh, yum, 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 yum. And it like crawls out of the crate that it lives in. The
And I think
tank.
I'll just throw the body in as much as possible and then close the door and leave. I'm not going to be around
Okay,
as
you do not want to see what it does. Perfect.
Not at all. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Daeralei, as you kind of return rounding the corner, and Yrsimagor, as you're cradling Veris. Zaari, you have returned from town. You have gathered supplies and refilled everyone's foods and tankards and food and satchels of water to continue this expedition. And you see, as you continue through this way, entering this area of the complex, you see Yrsimagor and Veris on the ground. You see Daeralei kind of just like brushing off her hands of some foul deed that is probably best left unspoken. What do you want to do? All of your companions look like they barely survived hell.
I think when she walks in, she has a very confused look on her face. So I must have missed a lot.
Daeralei comes kind of crawling back, leans against one of the walls in the elevated platform area, sinks to the ground and says, "Yeah, you can say that." And then we'll dig out that note that they'd put in their pocket earlier. Oh yeah. Thanks for coming back, sorry.
I think Zaari is just gonna nod and she'll come over and it's just barely touching everyone. She's going to give she's going to give Veris and Daeralei 5 HP each, and then she'll give 10 to Yrsimagor from her lay on hands pool.
I reach up. As you do that, I imagine you just sort of walking by and maybe placing a hand on Yrsimagor's shoulder and just one hand cradling Veris's head, the other just sort of reaches up and just sort of touches your hand for a moment. kind of holding it there, giving you a squeeze. But I don't say anything. Just that's my way, I guess, of acknowledging, thanking you.
Even if you can't see it, I think Zaari would just kind of nod in acknowledgement. And then I think she would pull out probably like an old shirt and start tearing it into strips just to kind of like bandage up Veris and Daeralei.
Daeralei, you unfold the note, and it reads, and I'll paraphrase. Ropefist Gailey, you are tasked with aiding Mayenda as best as you can. See to it that her plans and her operations remain undisturbed. And it's signed with a name that you all know so well, Garmin Ulrith.
Interesting. And I think at this, Daeralei would just kind of thrust it towards Zaari so that she can see it too.
I think you would just hear like a very low, like growling sound coming from her.
Have any of you heard of this Mayenda?
Have I?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know that name.
Seems once we're better, there's something else we need to do. I think disrupt.
Veris knows the name of Mayenda,
Oh.
and he squeaks up at the sound of the name. Mayenda, I know of her. She leads some of the cult, the cult in Scrapwall. They've taken control of that town. It's one of the reasons why I had to leave.
Well, I think it's obvious what we need to do next once we've recovered. We must upset this Mayenda's plans, if for anything, pay back.
I think it probably, as you say that, you all feel like the wear and tear on your bodies of the fight. You're able to take a short rest here if you wish. If you do so, you get back all your short rest abilities and half of your max hit points.
Round up or round out?
Round down.
Okay.
Half of max.
Yeah, so if your max is 60, you heal 30.
That's really handy. I like that. Thank you very much.
What did Veris say?
Sort of.
This Mayenda was a cult leader?
Yeah, Veris said that Mayenda was the leader of the cult in Scrapwall. This cult has taken control of the town of Scrapwall, and he said it's one of the reasons why he had to leave.
Is this by chance the cult of Hellion?
He squeaks a nod. Affirmative. Yeah.
You just hear, everybody around would just hear this deep-throated growl from Yrsimagor. But nothing else. We can't let what happened down there happen again. I blame myself for charging ahead of everyone. But we were split up. And your absence was felt, Zaari. I'm not exaggerating to say another few moments and you may have returned to find all of us dead.
Well then, I'm glad I came when I did.
Better late than never.
If it wasn't for this wee one. And you can see almost the look of disgust on Daeralei's face for having to say this as they're pointing towards Veris. We would have been dead.
He has proven to be quite a valuable asset. Well, how badly did the other guys look before you left?
We killed quite a few. Rope fists.
There were still more, though.
And orcs. But there were more. There were more rat folk.
Okay.
We had to run. I don't like running.
I know you don't. But sometimes that is the strategy we must take in order to take them down another day.
I nearly laid down my life so that the others could escape. Veris convinced me that it would be a waste. We, again, would not be in that position if I had not charged off after everybody. We need to stay together and work together and concentrate on strategically taking out those who lie in our path.
I agree.
They're going to be waiting for us.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
I have a question, DM.
Hmm.
Our little friend,
Mhm.
I forgot his name. The
Veris? Oh, the
one who likes the red.
yeah. He didn't. What did he say his name was?
We named him like Dirt.
Oh
Dirt.
yeah,
Yes.
Dirt.
Yeah. Dirt. His name is Dirt.
Is Dirt? Trying to remember, was Dirt limited to that containment unit?
So Dirt gave you the impression that he was scared of leaving the room. And that's the only reason why he's ever left. He's never left that room, because he's scared to. There's nothing physically stopping him from. I guess he hasn't figured out how to open the doors yet either. But when people did go through, he stayed behind and hid. So he's contained to that room because of the doors. But if you open the doors, he still might not come through because he was scared of leaving. But he has free mobility throughout the entire room.
Don't like the look in your eyes, Yrsimagor. What are you thinking?
I'm just wondering if our friend Dirt would be willing to come along for promise of a feast of red. I'm thinking we send him down on this moving floor, or up. I forget which way we went. Let him loose. Perhaps that'll break up any possible ambush waiting for us.
Well, that is probably an interesting idea. I'm a little hesitant on doing so because there was a pathway, I believe, to the outer surface, which is how the rat folk and the Rotefist came down in the first place. I would be afraid to loose dirt upon the world.
But shouldn't all things be allowed? Even though Dirt is odd, to say the least. If we found him a new patch of dirt. Maybe one over a rat folk tunnel. No offense, Veris. I like you.
I'll have you know we do not live in tunnels.
Some of you live in tunnels. Not all of you, but some of you.
Some of us, maybe. The ones who are... That's beside the point, anyways.
But how would we protect the town? I mean, we don't even know what this dirt is, whether it's yet a baby or if it's fully grown. We have no idea.
Do you want me to be honest?
Are you going to agree with me?
Maybe.
Because if you're not, then I don't think I want you to be honest.
Oh, fine. You're no fun.
I think the possibility of what Dirt could become is a tomorrow problem. We know what it is capable of. Be foolish not to use
Do we?
a weapon at our disposal.
I will have it noted that I vehemently disagreed, but was apparently outruled.
Do we know that he can take down things that are alive?
No.
You know that he loves the red. Even if he avoided those who are living and went for the bodies we left behind, imagine what those little rats and orcs would think when this creature begins devouring all of the that's left behind. All I know is they're going to be waiting for us. And even with having rested, and with your help, Zaari, I am still not at full strength. But I also don't like the idea of waiting another day to go down there. If we take time to heal up, they take time to heal up.
And they bring reinforcements.
But if we go up there, we need to go up there prepared to immediately start fighting.
Agreed.
Okay. I think she takes a couple steps towards you, Yrsimagor. And once again, her hand goes on your shoulder. And she's going to cast Cure Wounds on you as well. It's just at first level. For 10.
Again, another hand on your hand. Thank you. I will fight with all the vigor I can muster.
Oh,
But I don't have any more rage left in me.
I have one more trick for you. Don't worry. I'm not going to do it, though, until we get up there.
Is that our plan, then? Strike now?
Better now than later.
I'm going to check my weapons. I also just remembered I left my sword behind in that one room down there.
Yes,
So I'm also hoping to be able to retrieve that. But I have other weapons. Are you ready to fight, Zaari?
Always.
What does Yrsimagor have for weapons now that...
I have my fists. A hand axe, and I have that gripper thing. Which...
I have a mace, if you want it.
I have a spear.
My gripper does some pretty good damage. It is... I keep forgetting what it does. If it cuts or smashes, crushes, that's what it does, right?
It is yeah. So I mentioned like a wood shop like clamp. It's one of those like vices. You can use that. So
And
it's long like a crowbar. You can like
And every
crush
use
people with it.
uses an energy cell, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I have 18 energy
Because
cells.
it's powered by strange technology.
Yeah, so I think
Space glowingness.
as a way of getting ready, kind of pulling off from my back on the side of my pack, pulling this sort of thing, moving a couple things, doing that sort of chung chung in here and that, whatever it, I just imagine it being like, sort of, lights lighting up as it powers up, giving it just that one. I'm ready. Veris, stay behind us.
When you say that, I think that he's already like clambered up onto your back, like hooking some feet into your the straps of your backpack and stuff like that. I got your back, he says, like on your shoulder.
Yeah, and as Yrsimagor is getting his weapons ready, Daeralei is going to make that. I don't know how you want to describe it, like the nothingness rapier, the one that feels like once it exists, it feels like there's nothing there. Seems like there's nothing there, but it's obviously something. It's the absence of anything. You can see this rapier, as they call their energy and have it materialized in their hand.
So there's the matter of dirt. What was the verdict on dirt, and how do you want to approach that?
At this point, I think it may take too much time to explain the situation to dirt, coax dirt out of their place, and then let them go. I think dirt should be a ace up the sleeve.
I was gonna say a last resort.
I mean, as a backup plan, as we run away, we can run towards dirt. And
I don't want to run away again.
just saying, it could happen. And Daeralei gives you a pointed look.
So then up you go into the elevator.
I'm gonna take some of my own blood, probably from one of my wounds, and just kind of paint war stripes on the side of my face with my fingers as we head back up into the fray, presumably. And I'm gonna place myself, as I recall.
Yeah, so this is where the elevator will open up.
Yep,
to
I'm gonna
the
place
other...
myself right at the forefront. And recommend probably either Daeralei or Zaari be right there at the ready. It's only this one door that's gonna open.
If Veris is on your shoulders, then
Yeah.
I will be the one who do. I'll stand back there by the control panel and start the elevator, because that way I can see out, but I'm behind you guys.
All right.
So I've attached Veris to Yrsimagor, as you see here.
Nice.
Nice.
I was wondering
Very
if you could do that.
nice.
I also didn't know you could do that.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
As we're getting in the elevator, getting ready, Zaari instantly has a hand on Yrsimagor's shoulder again. And instead of looking at Yrsimagor, she kind of just glances at Veris and just cracks the slightest smile.
So up you go in the elevator. As Daeralei swipes the key card. Have you so go up and up and up. The doors close. The floor rumbles. It's an agonizingly long amount of time as you drift upwards. You feel like you're floating. Every moment beats in your chest as you as you're full of the anticipation of what is to come. As you ride it to the top of the elevator, they open up the doors. You see, greeted as the doors open up, you see two orcs on the other side.
That mother. Is that orc holding my sword?
He looks at you as the doors open up. Come back looking for this? As he flexes the Skymetal longsword that that you were wielding just a bit ago. Now listen here, he points the sword at you. Get away from here. We've killed one of you, we'll kill many more. Turn your asses and leave.
I don't
And
think
then the other orc spies Veris alive on Yrsimagor's back, and like, I don't think we killed him. And with that, they brace their weapons, trying to read what you do next here.
Yeah, I don't think there was any hesitation, but as soon as we see them, like Daeralei would already be chanting and doing the
Casting some spells here.
Yeah,
And
bringing forth the magics.
And I'm shouting at the one with my sword in his hands, I'm going to pry it out of your dead fingers.
And as we're getting ready, Zaari casts heroism on Yrsimagor. So every turn he gets 4 temporary HP.
Are you casting heroism like in the elevator ride, or when the doors open? Because if you're doing when the doors open,
it would be like as we get up and it kind of like stops.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So before, so in the elevator ride, near the end, you cast heroism. Perfect. The doors open up. This whole scene comes out. Daeralei, you're already in the middle of casting a spell here. This banter happens. Everyone roll for initiative, please.
So remember, at the start of each of your turns, you get 4 HP.
Heck yeah.
For 1 minute.
Oh, grab my bloody D20. Well, that could have been better.
Okay, what did you all get? Okay, so Daeralei goes first. Perfect. And then Jake got a 12. And what did Veris get? Okay, Daeralei, you are the first to act here. You're in the middle of casting a spell. What spell is it that you're casting? You're muted.
I am casting a silenced Eldritch Blast. I will, on the guy that was talking. I'm assuming that's the one on the bottom, or was that the one? On the top?
They both have been talking. The one with the Skymetal longsword was like, was the one being like, "Yo, you better turn back. We've killed one of you. We'll kill the rest."
Yes. Is he the one on the bottom or the top?
The top.
Okay. I probably can't see them then from where I'm at, so it'll be the bottom guy.
Okay.
So, Eldritch Blasting. We are doing 22 to hit.
That hits.
Oh, that is 12 points of force. I'm going to do the whole... No, we won't this term. So 12 points of force plus I am blasting him back into the wall.
Yep.
'Cause I
He's been
feel
blasted back into the wall.
mean.
Ugh! You see that the orcs here are slow on the draw. Caught by surprise by the sudden magic that you wield. Zaari, it is your turn. Sorry, Daeralei. Anything else for your turn? After your spell.
No, I think I like where I'm at. I'm behind the
Okay.
two big guys, so I'm gonna stay there for now. And yeah, wait to see what happens.
All right, Zaari, it's your turn.
Awesome. So let me just make sure of what I want to do. Okay. She is going to let me just make sure here. I should have. Oh yeah. Okay. But I think she's gonna move to this one. She'll go here. And she'll attack. Because with her Moon Touch Longsword. Because why not?
As you step out and swing your attacks, you see hiding around the corner is one of the rope fists behind you. And to the north here, this seemed to be like a quickly assembled, almost like palisade of crates and boxes that you remember that Yrsimagor would have remembered seeing in other sections of this complex, hastily piled up to make some kind of wall or barricade. But go ahead and roll for me, please. That attack, what was your attack?
I got a 14.
14 still hits.
Oh, sweet. So we will do two-handed for funsies. It's only 6, but 6 is still 6.
Hellion guide me! The orc says, uses a reaction after going to below half health to enter a frenzied rage.
This should be fun.
Mm-hmm. So you moved, you attacked. Anything else you want to do?
Not right now, no.
Okay. Sorry, from flanking you from both sides, 2 rope fists come charging at you, trying to catch you off guard, pinning you and flanking you as they consecutively punch you and kick you with their bolstered rope fists. It's going to be 4 attacks against you total. That's going to be a 22, an 18, a 7, and a 12.
The 22 and the 18 will hit.
Okay, perfect. So it's going to be 6 bludgeoning and then 5 bludgeoning for a total of 11 bludgeoning.
Okay, awesome. Can I use my stone's endurance to as a reaction to reduce that damage?
You can, yeah, you'll be able to block one of those 2 hits
Cool.
with your stone's endurance.
So let's see. I got a 12 plus the 2 is a 14.
Okay, so you block. Let's say you block the 6 and you'll take the 5.
Okay. So there we go. Awesome.
All right, Yrsimagor, it is your turn. The heroism wells within you, giving you D4 temporary hit points. What do you want to do?
Is it
As you see 2 rope fists bounding around the corner, trying to surprise and flank Zaari.
I had eyes on the orcs. As soon as that rope fist comes into my line of sight, I do not hesitate to step forward and attempt to crush him with my gripper. That's going to be a 16 to hit.
16. This rope fist uses a reaction. You see it come true, and all of a sudden this preternatural sense kicks in. The rope fist comes up and like glances it aside with a bundled forearm, causing you to miss instead of hit by using a parry reaction here.
I give an orcish yell in response to that. Basically just that full-on saliva flying in his face, but I only have one attack per round, so that's me.
All right, Zaari, you realize that there are small little gaps between this line of boxes and crates, where out from them, twang, 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 bullets, not bullets, but arrows, lodge themselves, fly out and try to strike you. They are attacking from hidden, which means they have advantage. So it's first one is going to be a 23 to hit, and then a 23 to hit, and then a 16 to hit.
So only 2 of those hit again.
Okay, perfect. These will have sneak attack. That's going to be 11 piercing for the first one, and then 13 piercing for the second one. And you may give me a perception roll, please, to try to spot these hidden attackers.
Okay, I'm going to do the perception roll, and then I am going to do my other stone's endurance.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oof, that's a whole 7.
Okay, yeah, you do not really know where these arrows are coming from, beyond them being on the other side of this thing.
So let's see. I reduce the damage of one of the attacks by 8.
Okay, so it was 13 minus 8 becomes 5 instead, so it's 11 and 5 for 16
Okay.
damage for the turn.
Awesome.
And it is now the orcs' turns. The raging orc with the Skymetal longsword will attack you twice, Zaari, with 2 furious attacks with this magical Skymetal longsword. The first being a 17 to hit, and the other one being a 24 to hit.
What was the first one?
17.
They'll both hit.
Both hit. Okay, so that's going to be... This is a long sword, so it's D10, Skymetal D4. Okay, so 5, 8... So 9 damage for the first hit. And that's 5... Another 9 for the second hit, for 18 total.
Zaari's not looking too hot.
And the second orc will rummage through his belongings and pull something with his teeth, like a little pin or something, out of some kind of like small hand-sized object, and toss it into the elevator where the 3 of you are. You realize this small little metal object kind of cling, 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 and sits roughly in the center of this elevator. But it begins like steaming and hissing as it then explodes. Veris, Yrsimagor, Daeralei, please give me Constitution saving throws, please. Let's see, does this rope fist have to do it? Yeah, it does. Oh, Zaari, you too. And this guy too. Okay, everyone has to make con saves.
I would like to use a domain relic to roll with advantage. I may do so.
You may do so.
Can I do that too?
Mhm.
That would be bad.
It's gonna be a 25 on my con save.
Oh, that's not any better. I got a 7 and a 9, so I got a whole 9.
Okay, so Veris passes. Daeralei fails. Veris and Yrsimagor pass. Daeralei fails. Zaari fails. Okay, so Zaari and Daeralei, this thing explodes, not in concussive force, but almost all of a sudden this bright light, as this bright flash of light blinds you. Zaari and Daeralei, you're blinded. Yrsimagor, as you're able to resist it just in time, you're able to not be blinded first off, and see that the orc that has your sword is also blinded by this flashbang. But the rope fist in front of you was not. He shielded his eyes just in time. And you'll be able to remake the saves at the ends of your turns to get rid of this blinded condition. It is now Veris's turn. Veris will kind of like lean over, you got this, and give you a d6, which you can use on your attack rolls or any checks this turn, Yrsimagor.
Okay.
Daeralei, it is your turn. You are blinded from this flashbang. What do you want to do now that you cannot see?
I can still try to do stuff, right?
Mhm.
I'm reading the blinded condition. It's oops.
If you try to attack someone based on like known last information, you have to do so at disadvantage because you cannot see them. They're hidden from you. So you could try to like shoot blindly in the direction if you remember him being and attack at disadvantage.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to try. It's going to be a desperate situation otherwise. So I think I'm remembering where the rope fist was in the doorway. And I was kind of already facing that direction because he's right in front of the guy I shot before. So I'm hoping that I remember enough to hit him. So I am going to loose another blast of nothingness.
Give me that attack roll.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Good at disadvantage. Roll. I had such a good roll and then bad. So 14 is my lowest.
14 still hits.
Yes. Okay, so we will do. The damage is not so good though because it might have just glanced him. 6 points of force damage on the rope fist, blasting him backwards.
Yeah, to push him right into his buddy. Ah,
Perfect. Good.
clearing the way for Yrsimagor.
Yeah, and because I can't really see where I'm at, I'm
Mhm.
going to keep that orientation. I'm not going to move. That way
Yeah.
I have a potential chance of doing it again next time.
Okay.
So.
Zari, it is your turn. You are blinded as you're able to hear around you the breathing of your foes. You know that you're still in melee. You can feel the sting of your wounds. What do you want to do?
Don't mind me, I'm reading things. I think she is going to... I have to do it this way. We're going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Mhm.
So that will give me 7 HP, thankfully. And then... let's see. I'm not gonna do that yet. And then I can make that con save again. I have not.
I just thought of that because
What-
heroism's a concentration spell.
Also, Kaeryn, Daeralei, can you also make a con save for your blindness from the end of your turn?
Well, I got a 19 for my con save for my
Okay.
blindness.
So you are no longer blind, Zari.
Cool.
Got a 9.
All right, you are still blind, Daeralei.
Which makes sense because,
Mhm.
drow. Bright lights, we don't get along very well.
Mhm. Okay, that will bring us then to the rope fist. We'll try to attack you, Zari. You are blinded, so he has advantage.
Me?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
got a
so
19.
sorry, yeah, you're sorry. Yes, you are the one that freed from the blind. Okay, regular attacks. Sorry, my bad. It's gonna be a 9 to hit. and
No.
then a 12 to hit. So you're
No.
able to glance off with your armor these rope fist attacks. Yrsimagor, you are not blinded. What would you like to do?
Is that orc that has my sword still blinded?
Yes, he is.
So I will attack him with advantage. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That's an 18 and a 19. That's a 25 to hit him with the gripper.
Sweet. You charge up to him and attack him with the gripper.
And that does 2d6. That's 9 plus 4, 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
You bring down the gripper on the orc's arm that's holding your sword. He like contorts in pain as he's like trying to flex. You can see like it, kind of the flesh starting to warp underneath the gripper's strength. But in the end, you'll have to break free from the gripper and try again, as it's not enough to like break his bone entirely. He did a healthy amount of damage though.
That
Anything else?
is my turn.
Okay. Seeing the true target, the one that defeated almost half their number last time, the more arrows fire from behind these crates, aimed at you, Yrsimagor, not Zaari. He's going to attack with advantage, all 3 of these arrow shots. So that's going to be a 12 to hit, a natural 20 to hit,
Yikes.
and a 23 to hit. So a crit and a hit.
Of course.
Okay, so the critical hit does max plus a roll. 29 points of damage from the critical hit.
Jeez.
And the regular attack that hit you will do 12. But you may make me a perception roll to see where these arrows came from.
Those 2 arrows just about obliterated me. Sorry, perception check.
Perception, yeah.
Gosh. The sure. 16.
You notice behind these boxes a trio of rat folk using these boxes as cover, and striking from hidden, but they are no longer hidden as you have spotted them. That'll bring us then to the orcs. The blind orc will swing out blindly, probably at you, Yrsimagor, because you're the one that just like tried to break his arm. He's going to attack you with disadvantage twice with his sword, with your sword, I should say. It's going to be a 10 to hit, and then a 10 to hit. So 2 blind swings with a half-broken arm while he's blinded. He's unable to make any kind of purchase against you. He's able to kind of duck and dodge these feral swings pretty easily. At the end of his turn, he will con save, failing again, so he stays blinded. And then this orc will draw his club, kind of skirt around behind, and try to whack you over the head with his big long metal pipe, Yrsimagor. That's going to be a 7 to hit, which will not hit you, because you're able to again kind of deflect it out of the way. It is now Veris' turn, and Veris will channel a bunch of healing magic, healing both you and Zaari by 10 hit points. You both get 10 hit points back. And Daeralei, it is your turn. You are blind. You've heard some scuffle going about. Do you want to fire in the direction that you last fired in?
Yeah,
Your Eldritch Blast?
I don't know where anybody is anymore, because I heard Yrsimagor move because of his, the noise.
Heard him charge forward.
And his
heard the gripper
yell.
act.
Yeah, so I am not sure now who's in front of me or not, like what's there. So I think, because I don't know what's going on, I'm going to put one hand on the wall and I can't move because I got the wrong pointers on, and just kind of walk along this way. With I guess my hand kind of on the front because I want to stop before I get, or if I get to like the doorway and then I go back so I know I'm
Sure.
kind of covered.
Okay.
Ish. But I want to know like, yeah, I think I'm gonna stop
Yep.
there ish, is where I'm guessing. Yeah, because I can't see, I don't have anything else to do. I will just roll that con check, and I'm gonna do it.
If you want to spend your action to like try to get your vision back, you can roll your con with advantage.
Oh, I would love to do that. Yes, I
Mhm.
would love to.
Use up your whole action to just try to get your eyes back.
Shake the eyes.
You rub your eyes and.
Oh, thank goodness, I needed that. So 17 is.
All right, you get your vision back as you're able to kind of rub your eyes back into function again, as you're able to see, and you see. Thank goodness that you didn't fire an Eldritch Blast, because there's a whole mess of a melee going on.
There's a whole bunch of peoples in the way. Yeah, perfect.
All right, Zaari, it is your turn.
Coolsies. With Yrsimagor going after the guy that has his sword, she is going to kind of turn on her toe and go for this rope fist here.
Awesome. Give me that attack roll.
Oh, dice rolls, be nice to me. 18.
18 hits.
Cool. We're gonna go two-handed. 7 damage.
Awesome.
And then let me make sure. As a bonus action, I want to harness my divine power to give me back one of my spell slots.
Awesome.
And that's it.
Okay. It is now the Rope Fist's turn, who is going to try to rebuff you with attack to counter your attack against him. 2 punches. That's going to be a 10 and a 7 to hit against you. That's going to be 2 misses. Yrsimagor, it is. Oh no, there's another Rope Fist. He will attack you, Yrsimagor, with 2 punches, getting a natural 20 and a 23 to hit. 2 hits, a critical and a normal hit.
Of course.
That's going to be 9 from the critical hit and 6 from the regular hit for a total of 15.
I've got arrows puncturing my body, and it's like this rope fist is just hitting in all of the places where I've been wounded before.
I imagine, like, with the critical hit of the crossbow bolt, you like reel from it, right? It's kind of staggering. And in mid-stagger, the rope fist comes up and gives you a nice uppercut right to the face, connecting with your jaw and sending your brain spiraling. Yrsimagor, it is now your turn. You get your D4 temp hit points from heroism. What do you want to do?
Is that orc still blinded or not?
Yep, he's still blinded.
As much as I want, man, no, I gotta hit him. I'm going to take my attack with advantage, and I'm going to use my bardic inspiration. A 1. That's a 14 total to hit him.
That's with advantage.
I rolled a
will
1.
Be a hit.
I rolled a 1 and
Yeah.
a 7, and then a 1 on the bardic inspiration.
14 still hits.
Oh, okay. Then I'm not as upset. So that's
These orcs are big. and not
That's
too
10
armored.
bludgeoning.
All right. You're able to bring down the orc to very low amounts of hit points from this. The divinely inspired frenzy of this orc is what's keeping him alive at this point. As I imagine, like, you feel bones crunch underneath your gripper, and somehow yet this orc still persists through the pain of it all, blinded and with a still thrashing and raging about. Anything else you want to do in your turn, Yrsimagor?
What else I can do?
All right. The rats try to strike out, no longer having advantage from their hiddenness. They pelt the melee with arrows. 2 on Zaari and 1 on Yrsimagor. So against Zaari, that's going to be a 15 to hit and a 9 to hit.
Nope.
And against Yrsimagor, that's a 14 to hit.
That's a miss.
So all 3 of their arrows go stray. They're probably scrambling now. Tried to find purchase in such a mess of a melee where both their allies and enemies are so clumped together. It is now the orcs' turn. The blind orc again swinging wildly out, swinging wildly with wide slashes against you, Yrsimagor. Blinded. It's going to be a 4 + 6, 10 to hit you, and then a 16 to hit you. 17 to hit you on the second attack.
17 hits.
All right, you get struck with your own Skymetal longsword. 11, 12, 15 points of slashing damage. As finally the sword connects with you.
As he hits me. Come on. This is not scrolling. Hold on. D&D Beyond won't let me scroll down to my abilities. That's so weird. The web page won't scroll. There we go. As he digs in with the Skymetal longsword in what probably feels to him like a killing blow, I stagger, start to drop, and gather every last amount of reserve that I have, and I use my relentless endurance to, instead of being reduced to 0, be reduced to 1 hit point instead.
Hell yeah.
I imagine this sword probably embedded in my shoulder and maybe just sort of falling, and as I stand up, rather than him drawing the blade out of me, I move, sliding the blade off of my own flesh. I'm still standing with 1 hit point.
The orc behind you, seeing that you, should have died, and thinking you to be dead, will move past you, giving you an opportunity attack if you wish, to step into the elevator with you, Daeralei, where he thinks that you are still blinded.
I imagine as he's moving past me, and in this moment I imagine it's probably Veris that points out the opening.
Yeah.
And wondering if first. Okay, it's not, never mind. Right, here we go. Opportunity attack. That is an 18 on the die, so that's a 24 total to hit.
Hits.
That's 2d6 plus 4. That's going to be 11 points of bludgeoning.
As you hook, I imagine, like the leg of this passing orc, and you clamp down on it with your gripper, crushing parts of your tibia, I think is what the bone is there, of this orc here. He yowls in pain. "Hellion guide my club!" He says as he enters his divine frenzy as a reaction in the middle of his turn. And then we'll enter frenzied the elevator with you, Daeralei, and give you 2 walloping frenzied attacks with his scrap metal club. But you are not blinded, so you're not at disadvantage, or you're not at advantage here for the attacks. That's going to be a 13 to hit and a 19 to hit.
The 13 misses, but the 19 will connect.
It's going to be 5 bludgeoning damage to you.
Okay, and then he must make a Dex saving throw, please. DC 14.
Okay, and he gets natural 1. So fails.
Perfect. Then he is going to take a whole whacking amounts of damage, 22 fire damage in response, as Daeralei eyes flash with like almost like a supernova kind of energy, and he is engulfed in starfire.
Despite the divine frenzy bolstering his attacks, even halved, taking 11 damage, causes him to fall. His brave attempt at getting the elevator with a weakling proved to be his downfall. Veris sees the foe no longer standing behind him. You got this, the both of you, and heals both of you, Zaari and Yrsimagor. Heals you both by another 10 hit points. Wow, he's rolling really good. That brings us to the top. Daeralei, it is your turn. You are no longer blinded. What do you want to do?
I will purposely crush his face as I step over there, and I'm going to blast Rope Fist that's behind Yrsimagor.
Give me an attack roll.
Is it? Oh, it's a 10.
Okay, 10 misses. He dodges and ducks and dodges out of the way.
Yeah, no, I think I still like being where I am, so I'm going to stay right here.
Okay, Zaari, it is your turn.
Wonderful. We are going to... Oh no, what happened? There it is. We are going to try and bonk that Rope Fist again.
Give me an attack roll.
I got a nat 1.
All right, the Rope Fist dodges your clumsy attack. You're off balance, probably by a searing pain in your foot as you try to like step forward to strike. You realize, oh, this is where one of the arrows sunk into your leg. As you do not do any damage with your attack. Anything else in your turn?
Nope, that's gonna
Okay.
be it.
It is the Rope Fist's turns. They will turns again, punching and skirting around still to lock you in place here so that you cannot move away from the assault of arrows. Sorry, you're going to get punched twice. It's going to be a natural 1 and a 14 to hit. For Yrsimagor, you're going to get another critical hit and a dirty 20. Yrsimagor got 3 crits so far.
All against me.
All against you. Okay, so it's going to be 9 from the crit against Yrsimagor and 4 from the other second hit for 13 bludgeoning total.
I imagine coming out of this relentless endurance, and with the bolstering heal from Veris, the first time, that first critical hit from the Rope Fist, just looking at him, and it's his second hit that knocks the laughter out of my mouth, and I drop to my knees and fall to the side unconscious.
Yrsimagor, it is your turn.
Let me clear the field and grab my death saving die. Can't see what that... Oh, that is 4.
You inch closer to death. The rats try to strike out from behind the crates, pelting Zaari now with arrows. 3 attacks against you, Zaari. Pew, pew, pew. It's going to be a 12, an 11, and a 14 for the 3 arrow hits. The 3 of them miss. It is the blind orc's turn will swing out swing out wildly. This time at you, Zaari, because you're the only thing standing in front of him. Attacking with disadvantage, gets a natural, rolls a 1 and a 20 on disadvantage, so that's a natural 1. And then rolls a 1 and a 12 for another natural 1. 2 natural 1s in a row, as you take 0 damage from
Need to pull out that. I need to pull out my crit fail table.
And then he tries to, let's see, does he stay blinded? He gains his sight finally. Oh. He's no longer blinded at the end of his turn. Veris sees Yrsimagor down, will channel energy into you, Yrsimagor, healing you up for 6 healing points. I rolled abysmally low. My apologies.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when I go unconscious, does Zaari's heroism spell end on me?
I have no idea. Heroism 5.
Oh, you just have to give me a second. I was sneezing.
Oh.
Says when the spell ends, the target loses. It doesn't say that it would end.
Yeah, I don't recall there being a rule that if a character goes unconscious, you stop concentrating on them.
Because you weren't dead yet. You were just
Yeah, you
just
weren't
unconscious.
dead.
dying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just temporary hit points just don't work on someone who's dying. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
so like on your next turn, you're still gonna gain the 4 temporary hit points.
Cool.
All right. That was Veris' turn, healing you with the lowest roll I've ever seen in my life from a healing roll. Daeralei, it's your turn.
I am going to take this opportunity with Yrsimagor prone on the ground. I've got perfect sight at this orc that's been pummeling him, and I am going to try to end him now.
All right. Give me the attack roll.
14.
14 hits.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yay. 7 points of force damage, and I blast him back, because he ain't touching my buddy.
He flies back from the force of your attack. The Skymetal longsword clattering to the ground beside him. Cling, clang, clang. As the orc is dead, concussed with a crater-like wound in his chest from your Eldritch Blast. Dead on the ground.
My void eyes, I don't know how to describe it, but that the nothingness between stars looks towards that rope fist, and I say, "You're next," as I ready myself and turn in his direction. I say as
Zaari.
intimidating as possible.
Yeah.
Roll me an intimidation check, please, Daeralei.
Yes.
15.
The rope fist looks down at the 2 dead orcs, the heroes that cannot die. The rope fists, both of them, surrender. Their hands go up in the air. They back off. We can talk about this. We can talk about all that. There's been a big misunderstanding. The one rope fist that you're intimidating says. Zaari, it is your turn.
Ooh. Zaari kind of glances over her shoulder a bit back at the elevator because I'm sure she can kind of see Daeralei right there. And a bit of a more menacing smile graces Zaari, and it's very much towards Daeralei, like, yes. With them surrendering, that means no opportunity attack, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
I could murder Hobo, but I don't want to. Zaari is then going to make her way over to about here.
You hear the rats scream out from behind the crates as you begin to move past the rope fist that does not fight you back. Well, what are you doing, you imbeciles? Mienda's gonna have our hides if we don't stop them.
I think I'll use your pelts to make a lovely, lovely overcoat.
You can give me an intimidation as well to intimidate the rats who are not at. They're currently not surrendering yet. They are resistant to the idea.
It's a whole 6.
Mm.
Sorry, is not as scary.
You're bleeding from every single hole in you. We're gonna kill you and kill the rest of you. And
You're more than welcome to try.
so you've moved up.
Mhm.
And anything else on your turn you want to do?
Let's see. Because I don't want to attack them yet, but she's gonna have her moon touch longsword in her main hand, just ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is the rope fists' turns. They begin continuing to surrender. Listen, we're just being paid to be down here. We're not part of them. We're not part of them. The rope fists say, gesturing, both gesturing in this direction through this door. We're not part of them. Yrsimagor, it is your turn. You are prone, 6 or so hit points, alive, breathing, conscious. What do you want to do?
I will stand to my feet, walk over to the fallen orc, pick up my Skymetal longsword from the ground. I'm going to go into my inventory and re-equip it. And then I'm going to turn towards the crates where I identified the rat folk as well, pointing the sword in their direction with Veris on my back, sort of peering over. We are the unkillable. Do you still want to stand your ground? Drop your weapons.
Give me an intimidation roll, please, as you climb back from death itself to tell them that you will not die and that they will. Give me that intimidation roll.
You know what? I'm going to spend...
Do you want a domain relic? Yeah.
I'm going to spend a domain relic for advantage, since Kiri recently just gave us one. Let's roll that with advantage. Let me get the 2 dice I want. Be good to me. Son of a... That's a 9 on the die for an 8 intimidation. I imagine as I say that, as I say all of that, from just blood loss and that last rope fist uppercut, I say it and then I just sort of stagger against the wall.
We are unkillable.
We are unkillable. Or that's what I heard in my head as I say, it's all slurred and coming through broken, bloody mouth. But yeah, no good.
The 3 rats, they still have their crossbows pointed at you, Zaari. You tried to tell them to stand down, but they are not standing down. We have to protect the priestess. That's what we're here to do. and they fire twang, 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 3 arrow shots at you, Zaari. That's going to be a 17, a 9, and a 23.
So 2 hit.
Okay, that's going to be 7 damage and 4 damage for 11 piercing damage total.
Okay.
The orcs are gone. Veris sees that you're like still dazed and slurred. He's going to give you a small amount of healing and give you bardic inspiration. So 1 point of hit points, and you get a d6 bardic inspiration to use. He's like, you should try projecting your voice a little better next time. Try not to slur your words so much. If you want to be so strong and intimidating. He whispers in your ear. Tell them about what you'll do to them if you get your hands on them. He's trying to like give you like ideas of how to intimidate them.
Was that bardic inspiration or vicious mockery? I'm not sure which.
Right.
Daeralei, it is your turn.
It's vicious inspiration.
Perfect. Okay, so Daeralei, following up with that intimidating look towards these rope fists, will, as she stalks out, is going to make call them, you two, over there, and she'll kind of point to like, okay, I can't really show. Why is it not showing?
Use the little pointer tool.
That thing right there. That's where I want them to go. Right
Here?
where you had your pointer. Yeah.
Okay.
And meanwhile, I am going to stalk this way, just slightly.
Mhm.
And I am going to cast Shatter right. Why is it? I can't make it go to the ping thing. Oh, there's the ping. That's the why, because I'm not using the right tool.
Yeah, you gotta use the ping tool, the pointer.
Except that it's still not using. I don't know why it's not working. Anyway, yeah, right around there. Basically, I want to make sure it doesn't hit Zaari. It's a 10-foot radius circle.
Okay.
I want
So
to
if you
hit
do
the
it-
crates and
Yeah.
the rats.
Yeah, so if you do it do it over here, you can shatter these crates. It'll explode here.
Yeah, so I want to basically do that.
Okay.
Why is it not the pointer tool? Why is it not pointing? I don't know.
Are
Maybe
you
you
are
just
you holding down your mouse clicker?
Well, it doesn't do anything. If I
Maybe
hold
just
it down or
refresh it
click it.
You can refresh it
Anyway.
at some point.
You know what I'm trying to do. So
Mhm.
shatter.
Okay, so they
that-
make saving throws.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, my things are con save. Yeah, Constitution saving throw DC 14.
Okay, so from left to right, fail, success.
Okay, so they take half damage if they succeed.
Okay.
We are talking 14 points of thunder damage.
Okay, so that you can go ahead and describe to me how when you explode these boxes, 2 of them die completely from it. The other one gets severely wounded from it.
Yeah, so probably because of where it was centered on, not only did the boxes explode, but they also probably released shrapnel, which is why it caught the 2 on the left. So as I'm casting Shatter, and I'm just like, enough! And these things explode, and those 2 rats just are obliterated, and I am staring at the last rat. I'm not saying anything, I'm just glaring at it through the ruin of the
Right.
boxes.
Zaari, it is your turn. You see the last remaining rat, like hands shaky. It's like he tries to say something and he looks back and kind of realizes that his two brethren have been obliterated by magic.
Finish him.
What do you want to do?
Oh, Zaari is moving up and she's gonna try to bonk him.
Okay, give me that attack roll.
Please do good. It's a 17.
That hits.
Cool. We're gonna divine smite it for good measure. So that's an extra 2d8 radiant damage. So we'll do this first. We'll do just a d8. So that's 7, and then the 2d8. Wham! Is another 9 for
17. So, yeah, that is enough to end this rat's life, if you wish.
Nice.
Just cutting him down, smiting this rat who stood in defiance of you. The rope fists move according to what Daeralei said. They kind of line up here, surrendering, kind of waiting for what you have to say. Here now, there are no more adversaries. The rope fists are like, we'll tell you what you want, just don't kill us. And with that, we're going to go ahead and I'll pick things up right when we get back.
All right. Let's hold on, there we go. All right. We'll take about a 10-minute break. We'll see you on the other side. And we're back.
So the scene calms just for a bit. You have 2 rope fists that have surrendered. You catch your breath. You've sundered down the orcs that were divine zealots of Hellion, it appeared, and these rat folk who are cowering behind a makeshift palisade of crates and boxes. What do you do now here?
I stalk towards the rope fists. I'm hoping at this point some of Zaari or Yrsimagor look like they might be tying them up or something, but I'm stalking towards the rope fists, and I am like, I keep forgetting his name, but the guy on the note,
Ulrich?
Ulrath. As I'm stalking towards him, I'm like, why is Ulrath helping out Mayenda? It's Mayenda?
Mayenda, yeah.
Mayenda. Why is Ulrath helping Mayenda?
Zaari is very much tying these guys up.
Make sure it hurts.
So you're tying up the rope fists. They're like, we've already surrendered. What are you doing? We're not going to attack you. And then answers your question. What does Ulrich want with Mayenda? I don't know, some business partner or something. We're just getting paid to be down here. Make sure none of people like you get through to her sanctum or something. But
what is she doing?
That's something. It's beyond me what she's doing. She's got this whole like cult whipped up, but well, he slaughtered everyone down here. She just keeps to herself in the far chamber down that way. Again, pointing through this door. She keeps to herself when she's not giving sermons to her cultists.
How many more of you are there?
He like looks around, like counting the dead bodies. It's just the 2 of us left. You slew all the orcs and all the rats.
You're telling me this was all your forces?
I would like you to make an insight roll, please.
13.
Well, there's more above ground. Something happened topside, and well, some of us had to split off and go investigate. Something happened back in the warehouse.
As I'm laughing, Daeralei is not letting any emotion cross her face because she knows exactly what's happened in the warehouse. But that's not going to be here.
I remember her saying something about her loss. She lost a signal or something. She was real pissed about it.
You seem like
Kind of wish I was
smart.
up there instead of down here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You seem like smart fellas. And you don't have any idea what she's doing down here? I find that hard to believe.
Do you want to roll intimidation or something to get more information out of him? He seems like you're not going to get anything more out of him
Yeah, I think maybe
about what he knows.
I will use this moment, like when they're not saying anything right away, so I step closer, and I think maybe I take the rope that Zaari is still tying them up with.
Oh,
And
Zaari is very much holding them like she's got them tied up, and then she's got the
Yeah.
ropes up like dogs.
I
Mhm.
think I take it a little bit and I twist it just enough to make them yelp, and I'll roll intimidation. Oh, 24.
Listen, that's all we know. I swear that's all we know. I don't know what she's up to.
With that, I do release.
Her sermons aren't in a language we understand.
Yeah, with that, I release the tension on it, let them, giving it fully back to Zaari's control. And then I turn to Yrsimagor. I don't think they know anymore. And I will walk away. So I'm not seeing what's happening, but I'm going to walk away to the orc, the one in the elevator, and I'm going to loot his body.
Okay.
Turning my back purposely to let Yrsimagor do whatever the hell he wants to do.
What is Yrsimagor doing while this happens? As you're listening in on this.
I am going to, still holding my Skymetal longsword, I am going to start to walk toward these two rope fists where Zaari's holding them. I'm going to lay the sword across their shoulders, both of them, so it's against their necks. And then I'm going to actually look over my shoulder at Veris, and I'm going to look at Zaari, as if looking for confirmation.
Veris is the little angel in your shoulder. He'll be pleading. They've already surrendered. Remember what we said? No unnecessary killings.
And when you look at Zaari will very much be the devil on your shoulder. And she'll just be like, no loose ends, no weakness.
It's not weakness to be compassionate.
It is here.
They told us what they know. They've surrendered.
They will just run back to their little leader. And she literally, like, with her free hand, uses the air quotes.
Veris,
Leader.
you are wise. Use your wisdom now and look away.
Oh dear. Daeralei, do you need a hand? He says to occupy himself.
Yes.
As he realizes he's rummaging a dead body. Like, oh Lord.
I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble with this pouch.
As soon as
Could you
Veris
aid me?
drops down off my back, I'm slitting both their throats.
All right. The rope fists speak no more.
And then I'll search their bodies.
Okay.
I don't think I've looted anybody, have I? Except for a couple dead bodies we found.
So looting all of the bodies. I'm assuming you're going to be looting the rats afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not, because I don't think they ever have anything on them. I disdain them.
Zaari will.
Definitely the orcs and the rope fists. I will.
Yeah, I'll do these two rope fists and the orc that had my sword.
Zaari will do the rats.
Okay, perfect. Each of you, please roll me 2d6.
You want the total or the result of each?
The total.
Excuse me.
I got double 4s.
I got double threes.
Oh,
Zaari, you rummage through them and you find 8 gold pieces of coins. Yrsimagor, you find 5 gold pieces. And Daeralei, you find 6 gold pieces. You also find numerous amounts of access cards of copies that you already have, like browns and whites. You find a total of 10 silver discs. And you find one of the rat folk has a magical arrow that still was not able to be fired. You're not sure what it does, but it definitely has a hint of magic to it. And you find a single potion of healing on one of the rope fists.
So are these silver discs? Silver discs. Were they the same? Like those are the discs that open things, right? Or is this?
No. So silver discs are expent batteries that are used to charge things, and topside they're worth 1 gold each.
Okay.
But I keep them separate because they are innately different, and if you have a way of interacting with silver, if you find out what you can do with silver discs, you might want to have a stash of them.
Okay. Yrsimagor, did you write that down, or do you want me to write that down?
I wrote it down.
Okay.
Okay.
All I
awesome,
wrote
perfect.
down was the 5 gold that I
Gold.
found. I added to my inventory, and I added the healing potion I found on the rope fist to my inventory.
Perfect.
As I say, I put the 8 GP, the 10 silver discs, and the magical arrow.
So I'm not gonna lie, if anybody needs to be having a healing potion on standby, it's Yrsimagor.
Yes.
Based on recent.
I still have a few, so
And lastly, you find another one of those grenades that was used against you on the other orc, the one that had your Skymetal sword.
Ooh, I found a grenade.
A flashbang grenade. You can lob it, and in a 20-foot radius, when it explodes, everyone around must make a DC 15 con save or be blinded, and they can repeat the saving throws at the end of their turns.
if your Yrsimagor takes, whoever takes that, I'm going to mention that as they take it. Warn me before you use that, please.
I actually will offer the grenade to Daeralei or Veris. That's more of a ranged thing. So either of you can.
If
take
Daeralei
it.
doesn't want, I imagine Veris would absolutely snatch that up, being like, "Oh, another trick in my bag."
I look at Veris, kind of get that squinty eye look, but I will actually let Veris have this one because they've gained a little bit of my respect, as much as I hate to say it. So, yeah.
Awesome. So you've successfully looted the bodies. On the rope fists, you'll find notes similar to the one that you found, saying that your job is to protect Priestess Mayenda at all costs and stop any disturbances that will come her way. That is like their tasks. You find no such notes on the orcs. And on the rat folk, you find there's one copy, what appears to be a contract, written in Ysoki, the language of the rat folk, that details a contract made out between the Scrapper Gang. It's called like the Scrapper Gang, where it says you will be paid, half now, half later for enlistment of Priestess Mienda to serve her and her cult of Hellion while she is in the town of Torch. This contract expires once her work in Torch is done, and can be renewed for her other works that she has planned. There's one contract. So it appears that the rat folk were hired as mercenaries, similarly to the rope vests.
All right. What now? Do we go after this Mayenda? Or do we, hole up again? Check out some of these supplies. Kind of indicating that room that we were in temporarily, well, that you were in temporarily.
Yeah, the
before.
room with all the crates and stuff.
Yeah.
As strange as it sounds, I will caution against rushing in again. It may be true what these, and I sort of indicate the dead rolled fists, that they were the only forces guarding this Mayenda. We don't know who she is or what her strength is.
Yes, and you look weakened.
I shoot you sort of a dirty look at implying that I am weakened, but I don't respond.
When you shoot me a look, you will see a slight turned up corner of my mouth as if I am actually making a joke, but it's you only notice it because you've known me for so long right now. But you can see that I was teasing you.
I think you should know. I have run into this cult of Hellion before. At one time, somebody I know tried to recruit me to serve Hellion as a Lord of Rust in Scrapwall.
What
When
is
I
a Lord of
refused, I was dragged into a cave and held captive by the construct arms of robots. I broke away from them and escaped. I have no love for Hellion or what he stands for. But you should know that followers of Hellion have branded me a heretic. I don't know this Mayenda, but I know of others like her. They are blindly devoted to Hellion. We will need to be cautious. And as if to say that's all I have to say about that, I'm going to actually start walking towards that room in the interest of scoping out any further supplies.
The northmost room?
Yeah, that one with the red and yellow
Cool.
boxes that I was in before.
Daeralei would watch him walk away. There's just kind of this look on their face, and maybe once he's about halfway there, will then just kind of nod to themselves and then follow Yrsimagor.
Not in the I hate to see you go, but I like to watch you leave way.
No.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
My chunky boy.
Oh.
Yrsimagor, you head up to this northern chamber. the north wall of this north chamber is caved in with rubble. There's these crates that have been kind of tossed askew. This map is not representative. Many of these crates that are here have actually been lined up on this like
Kind of figured.
this palace, this little wall here. So they're not actually up
shattered.
here anymore. Yeah. Notably, so I'll just say that these reds and yellow ones are just gone. They're just they don't exist. But these white ones do. You also remember there being like in the southern kind of closet area, there being these storage cabinets that were being rummaged through.
Yeah, I don't think I even bothered to look at them at the time. So yeah, definitely
we
checking
take
out
the
the white
time now.
boxes and basically giving the room a thorough. If you've ever watched me play Baldur's Gate 3, I check every crate and barrel, every drawer, every cabinet.
Single one.
I
I'm right
know
there
that
with you, so
I know that
Samesies.
one in 100 crates will have something in it, but I'm still checking all 100 crates.
Yeah.
I check all the vases and everything. I know
Yep.
it's slim to none, but
You never know.
I
So
found some good stuff.
You see that these two lockers, these kind of square lockers, you can see that they have a lot of like wear and tear around what amounts to be a lid. You realize that they've already been kind of bashed and popped open, and they've already been worked open. You open them up and they're empty. They've already been scavenged. This third one has the same wear and tear, but is still firm and locked closed. It seems that whoever tried to get this one open couldn't get it open.
Does it happen to have a
It resists your
stripe,
mundane.
like a stripe of any color on it? Does it happen to have?
It does not have a
Okay.
stripe of any kind on it.
I would like to attempt to just brute strength rip the lid open.
You took
Okay.
the words right out of my mouth. Can I help him with that?
Absolutely. Zara, you can help. So Yrsimagor, you get to roll with advantage a strength check
I
to
will
try to
stand
pry this
behind.
open.
I'll stand behind them both as a foreman, and just
Tell us how
give
we're
them
doing.
advice. Yeah.
Veris will also give you guidance to give you a bonus d4.
Okay. So that's going to be... Where's my D4? D4.
Veris and I are back there just discussing how they
let's
should
see.
pull a little to the right or put a little
18.
bit more effort on that.
Pull with their, lift with their legs, not with their backs.
That's a total of 18.
All right, you are
Yrsimagor's
able
got
to
good
pop
form.
it open. Yeah. You're able to pop open this crate, and inside you see some devices, technological devices that you have no idea quite how they work. One of them seems to be some kind of handheld device that almost like would fit in your palm really well. It has a trigger that's similar to a hand crossbow, but it doesn't look anything like the pistol that you've seen some people have or anything like that. You see
So
something that looks like...
So it does not look like the gun with the 4 metal canisters that we found in the other room.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. You find what appears to be some kind of suit. Like you kind of lift up, like, oh, you could wear this. It's like a little bit like snug and tight, but it's a suit, like a jumpsuit, I should say. You find like this smaller, like baseball-sized device that has a few buttons on it. You're not really sure what it does. You find 2 batteries, which each contain 10 charges, so you got 20 more charges, as well as 24 dead batteries, which are silver discs. So 24 silver discs is what you find in here.
I will take the 2 batteries. Unless anybody else needs a battery, but I'll take them for my gripper.
We're up to...
I don't have any
we're up
direct
to-
interest in any of the other stuff if I don't know what it is. I
we're
think
up to
Zaari was gathering all the silver discs.
34
I'll-
silver discs at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I will take the unknown hand crossbow like
Mhm.
thing? Because I've got the other ones in the bag that we're carrying, all these
Yeah.
unknown tech things, so I'll take that one too.
Yeah,
Put it
so
with it.
I've amassed a list of technological items that you've collected, but you haven't really identified yet. You're able to identify them over the course of long rests to figure out what they do. As of yet, you have no idea what they do. So are you just taking all three of them then, Daeralei?
Yeah. What
The
were they
panic,
again?
it was like the suit, the jumpsuit, the small handheld trigger shooty object,
Sorry,
and
jumpsuit, handheld shooty.
yeah, handheld shooty, and a small orb with buttons.
Orb with buttons.
Yeah.
We also have
Cool.
three. I have in my
Oh,
inventory
and 2 batteries. Yeah.
3 red
Uh,
guns that we don't know what they do yet either.
Oh, you got 3 red guns? Do they look like this gun that we found
No,
in
they
the
are
other room?
different. They are
Oh,
different.
we have.
Jake, the player, is suddenly having an idea of what red means, and maybe have an idea what it could possibly be, but we'll still need to spend time to identify during our next rest.
Does your Yrsimagor want to hang on to those still, or do you want to put them with the rest
I'll
of
hold on to the ones that I have.
Okay.
I think I want to take a look at them the next time we take a long rest.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, that was what's in that crate. Do you move on to the storeroom to the south?
Absolutely. I think, watching
Yeah.
them do that. Oh, I keep grabbing you. Watching them do that. They had it well underhand, so I would have turned it, turned my attention to this room.
You see that all of these lockers have been popped open, their contents spilled out, they've been rummaged through. It kind of like litters the entire floor. There's like discarded wrappers from those like gel tubes you remember seeing in the those goo tubes in a previous room, strewn about this room. It's like just kind of like refuse everywhere. The biggest part of the refuse here is that there's a lot of robot parts. You see like paneling for hull, you see like servos for arms, you see wheels, you see kind of all the things that Yrsimagor ripped out of robots. These are the spare parts for robots stored in this room. You think that whoever's been through here has probably collected the valuable items.
Yeah, I will give it a cursory look. But if there's nothing that grabs my attention, I'm out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, you imagine that's where the orcs must have gotten those strange grenade objects.
Oh, interesting.
And
you did mention one of the one of the orcs had a. You said a Skymetal.
Skymetal longsword?
Oh no, but the other one had a club of something, and you said it was some.
Oh yeah. Is you realize? Oh, that orc was using one of these robot arms as a club.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would not have picked that up then, because that doesn't sound fun.
Mm-hmm. But otherwise, there's nothing really of note in this room as you rummage through it.
I mean, I'm not adverse to taking another short rest, but it's up to you guys how we want to proceed.
I think a short rest would be nice.
Yeah, we need at least a short rest.
A short rest is 10 minutes, so it's a quick little smoke break, and you will be out of short rests until your long rests if you do this.
I still have one.
Well, yeah. Zaari has one left.
Yeah, I could definitely use it at this point.
Take a short rest, 10-minute breather. You get back half of your max hit points and any short rest abilities.
When you have to add in your noggin?
Short rest. Take short rest. I don't think any of my abilities refresh at a short rest. A long rest.
Mine do, so I kind of want it.
But I get 23 for half my max, so that's a big boon.
as you lounge about on these kind of oddly comfy chairs, these office chair style chairs in this room, you notice that the lights above you have been smashed out. Unlike the rest of the room, especially the floor below you, the flickering lights do not really flicker here. Most of them have been smashed out by someone who would be tall and brawny.
Well, I feel better now. Where do we want to head to?
There's still a couple areas off of that first room that we haven't checked.
Yes.
And the rope fist.
He was saying through this door we'd find her.
They did mention the far chamber, and I did briefly go into this other chamber, the south.
Yeah, Daeralei has no idea about it because she did not get that far.
There's a large room south of here where I ran into the rat folk and the orcs and drew them out. In fact, I would like to make my way through to, I think was this the doorway?
Yeah.
It has been closed. Yeah, it's been closed since you last been here.
I want to peer through. I want to see if I can get a look in there to see if there's anybody in that room.
You open the door with a keycard swipe and see an empty chamber. This tall balcony that rings the north section of the room. The staircases that go down, and this area here is lowered. You see the tall altar of some kind of strange outstretched hand. There's like a pile of like offerings at the base of this altar. Burning braziers that still burn, but otherwise no occupants. The door to the south here is open, suggesting more of a room, a larger chamber set to the south.
I would come into the room and indicate, one, there's this door here that makes me think this might be where, and at this point I'm talking in hushed voices.
Yeah.
I think this may be where the rope fist indicated. This could be the far chamber where this man is. There's still this door here. We don't know what's between these two rooms. And then I would like to sneakily make my way down here to get a look into this other room.
What are these blue things before we go too much further?
Blue things?
All along the walls.
Along the walls. Those are these almost like consoles. They are like a bunch of like computerish screens all along the north and south walls. They seem to be in some kind of disrepair. They don't seem to be like saying anything. There's just like a kind of a static kind of buzzing to them. Any kind of holographic potential they have is kind of glitching out and inconsistent. They seem to be out of order and non-functioning. Yrsimagor, you take a peek through these doors and get a glimpse of what lies beyond here. How do I draw? Oh, that's not what I want. Give me a second. You see a large chamber to the south here, with a massive piece of machinery dominating its center. You see working at this machine 4 small little robots, the little drones that you saw in the earliest sections of this complex, way back when the complex was still basically a cave. You see them working here. They seem to be idling themselves at the broken bits of the walls to repair them with these small little arms, using like a little welding torch to fix things. They're reassembling and disassembling things. They kind of clack around on little robot feet. They pay you no attention as you stand there. Even as one of them like kind of rounds the corner here, you're perfectly in view, does not care, and continues to work up onto whatever this large dominating piece of machinery is in the center of the room. These large pieces of machinery, they're conveyor belts of some kind of like leather belt that kind of runs slowly around and around and around. The eastern end of this device over here is just this thrashing and twitching armatures and blinking lights. There's like strange flashes of writing and images on some of these console pictures on this far side. This left one on the west side of the wall is like this this eastern one, but its conveyor track is stained the color of blood as it wheels around. There you get a sense of incompleteness to this chamber, as if everything here is missing parts. Things have fallen into disorder as these small worker robots are trying their best to put it back together. But you can see like there's large gaping holes and lots of disrepair happening here that these little drones are trying their best to repair.
Veris on my shoulder would hear an involuntary growl at the sight of the robots, but seeing that they are the smaller worker drones, I'm not going to make any rash movements.
Notably, there are 2 doors leading out of this place, one up here and one down here.
I will draw back and report to Zaari and Daeralei describing everything that I saw down there. That still leaves the question of what's through this door, indicating to the western door. I'm fairly certain that the end through this door.
Why don't we go deal with her first?
Good enough for me. Is this door locked? Or have a key card?
It is. What door is this one? It is locked just with a key card that you have access to, the red key card.
Oh, it's a red key card. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I will draw my sword just to be at the ready. Are we all
I will
ready?
have readied my absence rapier.
I will also ready my longsword.
We'll open the door.
As you swipe open the door, all 4 of you hear something, a noise, accompanying the of the doors opening. A clang, clang, clang. The sound of heavy footsteps. Not behind you, not to the left, not to the right, not in front of you, but above you. The door opens up, revealing another set of doors.
Oh, that was anticlimactic.
Did the clang clang that came from above us seem to have come from above us in that chamber, or above us in this
above
room?
us in the chamber you are in?
Right, so in the room that we're in.
So if you look, do you look upwards?
Oh, absolutely. If I hear the
Yeah,
sound.
you see that the ceiling itself has been like is exposed. There's no ceiling in true properness here. The like girders and planks, not planks, girders and like framework, the framing of this room is exposed and also shrouded in shadow.
So
You're
it
able to
opened
see.
as the door opened.
No, the ceiling was always like this.
Oh, the ceiling was always like this. Oh, okay.
The ceiling is in disrepair, and you hear again, clang, 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 above you specifically, Daeralei.
Okay, what's above me? Do I see anything when I look above me, straight above?
You may give me a perception roll.
Is it dark above me?
It is dark, but
Okay, perfect.
you are able to see into it because of your dark vision.
Good. I'm just not at a disadvantage, which is awesome. 21.
You see, you're unsure of what you do see. Like, it's just in your monochrome vision above you, you see like a mess of Skymetal, like panels and frame. It looks like it's been like wrecked from some kind of cave-in. There doesn't seem to be anything up there. It's just like, looks like kind of ruin has happened up above you.
I don't like the sound of it. Something's giving me the heebie-jeebies. I do not want to be under whatever is making the noise in case it's just going to fall down upon my head. So I'm going to definitely move over here to the other side of Yrsimagor.
Clang, clang, clang. Daeralei, it follows you. It is still above you.
I don't like that. Oh dear. Daeralei is going to go down the stairs. Take it away from the other people.
You hear a raspy voice come out from the darkness of the ceiling. You will not enter my mistress's chamber. Clang, clang, clang. It stays above you, or it moves to be above you. You see nothing.
I see nothing. I look to Yrsimagor and I kind of give him the motion like, go, while I'm taking this clanging thing and moving this way, away from them.
I'm assuming that means go forward, and I'm going to open the next door.
As you swipe the key card, looking forward, you see the door open. Daeralei, you see something else as you see your companions' backs up those stairs. You see a great, massive form fly out, descending from the loft above you. This great, bat-winged, metal-bodied creature.
Oh, shit.
Flying down, swoop, almost like falling with how great mass it has, descending literally like not onto the ground, but like probably taking like a big raking swipe by as you open the door. Yrsimagor, you open the door, revealing a massive chamber. It is circular in nature with a. I'm gonna fix this because I.
Oh boy.
You see panels of blinking lights and machinery that line the north and south walls. But the true spectacle, of course, is this massive machine of metal dominating the eastern side of the wall. It is sitting atop a 10-foot high platform. There's some ladders there on the north and south wall. And at its center here, there's another machine plugged into this massive glowing machine with several spikes protruding from its heart. The entire room here vibrates almost like inaudibly, the sound of thunder. The air feels alive as if it were vibrating as well. This heart at the center of the room is thrumming with absolute activity. You see a slender woman standing atop that ledge. She looks down at you. She has purple-colored hair. Her skin is bedecked with lines of purple circuitry. She is not human. She is something else, something greater, something different. If Dexter were here, your old android character, he'd look at this character and recognize her as akin, an android herself. But none of you know of Dexter nor his fate. Alongside this android woman at the top of this ledge is this flying robot that kind of buzzes on these circular helicopter blade wing or flight modules, kind of levitates, positioning itself kind of in between you, Yrsimagor, and whomever this woman is. She looks down. She has a pistol, an Inferno pistol, the one that a similar one to what you saw Val Bane have in her possession. She points it directly at you, Yrsimagor. And on her other hand, it's like almost like this like cybernetic augmentation from the elbow up. Instead of an arm, she has this metal arm that ends in like a circular buzzsaw that revs up on your sight. She points her pistol at you and says, "You've made short work of my cultists. You were the ones that stymied my plan topside, weren't you? Well, it ends here. By Hellion, you shall all die." And that is where we're going to end our session tonight.
I would like to save scum.
I
I would like to reload to the save right before we decided to go into this room.
Right?
Yeah,
Oh,
reload,
man.
let's prepare and start again.
God.
Oh man. I don't say this often, but we're fucked.
Yep. Oh yeah. I
Oh, my
have to
gosh.
prepare another character.
I just want to point out that I am very close to the exit door, and I know the elevator is behind me waiting. Bye-bye.
So I would like to say, I was talking with somebody recently offline. It might have been M and somebody else. We were talking about you, Vi. How, as a GM, one of the things that I love about the way you run games is you don't pull punches. You let your players go where they're going to go and basically dig their own graves. You just let us do what we're going to do, even if you know that we're walking into death traps. But also, we were talking just how, amongst all of the people that we've played with in the various games, GMs and myself included, Tamiko, speaking up in the chat, it was Tamiko that we were talking with, that you are probably one of the best GMs for running combats. You have such an I don't know how to describe it. It's like beyond just the moving pieces. Like you somehow incorporate the bigger picture, and you throw in so many additional elements that make every combat feel new and fresh and deadly and dangerous if it needs to be. And again, that fact that you just don't pull punches. I just wanted to put that out there as a compliment to your GMing style. You are not just mine, but several other people's favorite game master for that reason.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I like to not pull punches, and I like to give you lots of tools to use.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Thank you for another awesome session. Poor M coming into, just like Zaari coming into a nearly dead party. Then M returns in 2 weeks.
At least we're mostly a live party this time.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, we're still pretty tapped. At least I'm tapped on resources. As far as class resources, I'm still a strong character and I have my sword back. We'll see how well that does.
I think it's very funny that you're like, I think at some point we should try to get a long rest. Like we're all feeling very spent. Oh, I think she's beyond this door. Let's open the door.
Yeah.
I'm feeling great. I'm at full strength right now, so I'm feeling.
I'm literally at just
funny.
above half strength.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's
for hit points.
I have one hit point less than my max.
I'm literally
without your rages, though. That's gonna.
Yeah, I don't have my rages, which mean that was clutch in previous fights, having the having those attacks, but I don't know. Maybe it's time to find out what these red guns do. No,
you've got a door in front of you.
Yeah. Thank you again, Vi, for another incredible session. I'm glad we were able to go ahead and run the session tonight. Extenuating circumstances notwithstanding, we will be back in 2 weeks for another Skymetal Iron Gods. It'll be
very climactic session
part
in one way or another.
So be sure to tune in for that. We hope to see you on Thursday for Welcome to Paradise Academy. Yeah, thank you to everybody who tuned in with us. Whether you're hanging out in the chat with us or you're lurking quietly in the background, we appreciate you all the same, as always. And as always, a huge thank you to everybody gathered around the table here, to Vi, our incredible game master, Kaeryn, Sara, and though they weren't with us tonight, they were with us in spirit, M, without whom this would just have been Vi talking to herself for a couple hours. With that, we're going to go ahead and end this stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want.
TPK next session.